Hi, my name is Ehab.
Hi, my name is Zara.
Hi, my name is Vera.
Hi, my name is Maria.
And we are presenting the two cities of divide, Istanbul and Berlin.
To analyze the conditions of divided cities, there needs to be an analysis of the countries we are studying. Reading the text My Name is Red has shown us the fact that the divided city of Istanbul has a very strong sense in tradition and their beliefs. Turkey is located at the northeast of the Mediterranean Sea. The people and the communities are mainly influenced by the tradition of the Middle Eastern and Asian culture. Due to its geographical location, Turkey is a country that you can find hints of traditions from all over Asia. However, this country does not only belong to Asia, since there is a small part of it in Europe. And because of this, we can feel a mixture of modernity and old traditions in the country. Not like all countries in Asia, this country has managed to set modernity as its main rule and regulation. Therefore, the role of religion turns into a personal faith of an individual in the country.
For the case study for Istanbul, we have chosen the physical divide in between the city. There's a river that runs straight through Istanbul and it physically divides it into two halves. The interesting thing about it is one half is in the European continent and one half in the Asian continent. Expanding more on the divide, this is just highlighting where Istanbul is in relation to the world and what parts in Asia, what parts in Europe. Because of its geographical location, it was considered a very important location in the world for trade and stuff, and it had a bridge linking the two continents together from Asia to Europe and vice versa. The city and the country, back to the core readings and the novel we were set to read. My Name's Red by Orhan Pamuk. The novel was set in the reign of Sultan Mehmed II in the 1840s. Sultan Mehmed he made Istanbul the third capital of the Ottoman Empire, and the novel itself, it talks about a group of miniaturists and illustrators. One of them gets murdered, and each chapter is narrated by a different person of the character. Then he has pictures of the sort of stuff they used to draw and the illustrators they used to do. And the novel itself is set based on the culture of Istanbul and the tradition and how love and freedom can clash.
Berlin Wall, one of the most famous symbols of the Cold War and the division of Germany. The culmination of the Berlin blockade began in 1948. The way the Berlin Wall happened basically was a part of Indo-German border. That border that divided Germany into two states in Berlin area. Since its construction from East Germans on August 13, 1961, until the fall of November 9, 1989, separated West Berlin from East and surrounding regions of Eastern Germany.
Berlin Wall is a spatial paradox because it separated one city into distinct two. The separation causes many effects on people's lives. And here's a quote by Zaha Hadid that says, "The borderline does not have the rectilinear definition of Berlin bloc structure. It is a delicate, vulnerable witness to Berlin's separation." The wall was a barrier in the landscape, blocking not just the landscape but also the little bit of the development of the city. It had 7 streets and 1 train station that had to be channeled to the exactly pointing crossing points in the wall. So the whole city had to be restructured to maintain the two parts as new different cities, and they had different economy, politics, architecture, exchange, and ways of living. In relation to the core reading, the book Warped Space by Anthony Weider says that the concept of space is constant and stable. So in this case, in Berlin, when the wall was built, it was a tremendous change in the landscape. So people's lives were really affected by this. And even when the wall came down, their lives were also affected, because it was also a change, because the wall stand for almost 30 years. And the other book, Capital Dilemma, says that Berlin is a city of memorials, because after the wall came down, they stood with some parts of it, using as memorials, because this helped the city to get reunited again. It's like they can't forget the past and just start a new city. They have to reunite the two different cities. In the other book, that is about Germany in transition, says about the new urban structure of Berlin, that says that New Berlin should emerge from a comprehensive urban development structure, which aims to connect the two parts, but maintaining the different qualities of the two sides. The link between the core readings are that in the book Warped Space, it says that like when something familiar turns into something strange, people get affected by the landscape. And this occurred in Berlin, because when the wall was built, it affected people's lives, and when the wall came down, it also had a huge effect, because they have to connect the city again. And in the book My Name is Ram, there are two views of the artistic meaning that relates with the differences between the two world civilizations and their political and cultural distinctions, because one part of Istanbul is in Europe and the other part is in Asia.
Historically, the Berlin was basically happened because of the Eastern Bloc, as it claimed that the wall was erected to protect the population from fascists, and basically protect the will of people as a socialist state building at its side. The wall served to prevent the massive emigration and defection that marked Germany and the communist German border, Eastern Bloc, during the World War II.
And in Istanbul's case, it also has a social divide that can be linked to Berlin. The social divide is for people that live on the different continents, the different parts of the city, because the divide is physical and geographical. It was also caused because of a war. After Istanbul was established, the third capital of the Ottoman Empire, so the result of the war, so the divide was meant to be there, and the people living on the different sides have a nice harmony between them. So the Asian side is very westernized and very advanced in a way, and the European side has the Asian culture and the Mediterranean feel.
One of the implications in the history of Istanbul is the loss and gain of territory during World War I and Turkey and Russian War, which gives Istanbul its current identity and what it is now. Also, since all the rulers and the invaders of this country were all from different places with different nationalities, has made this city very multicultural. At last, making Istanbul as the capital of Turkey during Ottoman Empire was an improvement to the country, since Istanbul now is a significant trading place. One of the implications in current transformation of the city, Istanbul, is that although Istanbul has a history that can be linked with the Asian Islamic community, but the city still holds its modern European content and won't allow the religious forms to change its outlook. However, in the same time, there is a strong balance between the Eastern and the Western culture due to its geographical location.
On the other hand, in Berlin, implications in the current transformation, nowadays Berlin is one of the most advanced cities in the world. They have advanced in this, so many different sectors such as medicine and technology, and it's become really, really modern. So they've not let the past affect with the wall in the east and the west. In fact, it's become as one, and they've helped the city develop and move forward.
Some believe that it's a nice harmony and some believe that it's a divide, the current situation in Istanbul. Istanbul, the city will always remain geographically separated, and the freedom of the country can allow clash of different religions. But what we need to focus on is to how to create links to, how to create ways to link these two separated bits of Istanbul to allow people and communities to move forward socially in Istanbul.
In Berlin, the Berlin side of future implications, Berlin has already moved forward and has already made so much progress, and when the wall has been put up, if the people can overcome their history and the past, then it will continue to move forward, I think. The physical barrier is not there anymore, however, people will always cherish it as history and learn from it, overcome it, and continue to expand the city even more.
My opinion after all this presentation, and basically for the deeper meaning of the text about Berlin and the wall and the city of divide, is about that people basically needs freedom, and no matter if no matter of political forces or any inter-border take place between communities, people need to be together and they want freedom and they want to be, that's why they make basically revolutions or yeah, kind of sort of like that.
My point is that the history and the geography of some place, it's really important for its development. It's like in Istanbul, the geography, it separates the city, but it also gets more rich with more culture and different politics and things that just enrich the city. And in Berlin, it's like the history of it just made it more stronger as a city and as a world point.
What I take from the divide, I think the divide can be viewed in a positive way or a negative way. I think both cities have had positive outcomes and negative outcomes at the same time. You know, you can have positives like the divide in Istanbul has made it a trading place which boosted the economy, which made the city go forward. However, there is that still social divide, and links do still need to be made in between the two parts to make it stronger. Berlin is the same, the social divide is not as much there anymore, but there's also there's a historical and cultural divide that will always be there. But as it happened and as the tragedy finished, people moved on and have built a beautiful city that we have today.
In my opinion, implying any type of divide into a human's world, it creates different behaviors into the parts that have been divided from each other and that have been separated from each other. And these different behaviors in each community creates different traditions, that these traditions become people's beliefs, and these beliefs can narrow people's mind to what the divide has done to them.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
Thank you.